So this is just a quick one. I thought I'd show you guys my computer setup, or what used to be, I guess, my studio. But there's Maple sitting under the desk. So what we've got is a desk that my mate made in high school, and then I needed some tiers for the keyboard and the audio interface and stuff, and then some more for the speakers and the dual monitors. So I got my mate to help me build those to sit on top of the desk. So I guess music wise, I use Yamaha HS8 active, HS8 active monitors, 8-inch driver. They're kind of an industry standard. Oh, hello, Dorothy's come to join us. Kind of an industry standard. They're very flat. If you're into producing music, they give you a very accurate and true sound. I am definitely not a very good producer, but I did sort of get into it a bit, hence why there's a keyboard here. And down there, you can't really see it, is the matching HS8 sub. And with those three things, it absolutely cranks. It's good to fill this sort of small room, and if it was a bigger room, perhaps. If you're doing music production, you really want to have your room treated. I no longer do any of that, so my room's not really treated. I mainly listen to music, and listen to other people's YouTubes when I'm sitting here or watching tutorials or whatever. But I'll just go through the stuff anyway. So I use an Audient ID14 audio interface. That's like your sound card. Devices can go into, this is what's called an ultra gain. So there's musical devices can go into there. It's connected via a fiber optic cable to the Audient ID14, and then that goes to this is what it's called, a passive monitor controller. It's a MPATCH 2.1. So all this does is you can attenuate the volume, and I can change whether I have the music coming from my computer or whether I have the music coming from my mixer coming out of these speakers. I guess I better mention the DJ gear. So don't know how well you can see that with the light, but the mixer I use is what's called a Zone 4D. So it's got a normal mixer section in the middle, and then on the outside it's got MIDI functions. And with the MIDI functions, you can program them to do stuff within software. So if you wanted to play music off your CDJs, which these are just very basic CDJ 400s. Limited. There you go, 400 limited. Very basic CD players, but these also have HID control. So if you're running completely software, you can use the CD player to control the software, play your music, and in fact you can play it in one software program, send it through to another, and then you might send an echo or a reverb, and then you can alter the tail, and you might have a beat repeat on one of these buttons, whatever. So that's what I use. You don't really need these MIDI sections, but this is quite a cool and unique mixer. The mixer I had before this was a Zone 92. The only way it differs is if you know what a DJ mixer has, normally they've got 3-band EQ, which is what this has. But the Zone 92 was very famous for having a 4-band EQ. And the reason I used that is the style of music that I play, or I played, which is proggy house sort of stuff. You can really sort of sculpt the sounds and do really long mixes and really blend the sounds, etc., etc., over a long period of time. So anyway, that's that. That's my DJ gear that I play with occasionally. Subaru owner, that's all my vape junk. There's more vape junk here. And then the computer isn't really anything fancy. The left monitor is a 4K 60 Hertz. The colors are very true on this. So like if you see this here, I mean, I don't know how well it's going to come through in the camera, but the colors, so if you're doing Photoshop work or, you know, logo stuff, Illustrator, that kind of thing, it's very true to the colors. Whereas this one on the other side is purely a gaming monitor. So it's still, I think, 1080p, but it's 165 Hertz and it's G-Sync compatible. So it's very smooth for playing games, and it has a fast refresh rate. So tutorials, etc. on that, games on this, and if I ever edit a video, which this video will not be edited because I hate it, but it would be on that monitor there. That's that. I probably should explain this. This is a Novation 61 key keyboard. I use a little USB hub with switches on it over here to switch it on. So switch it off, switch it on. Also, to turn on the music and the DJ equipment, I just have it all on one switch. So if I switch this switch off, now all the music stuff is off. And then if I switch it back on, I can find it. So the DJ shit comes alive, and I've got some lights underneath the desk and the speakers come on, etc. So that's that. And then the main thing I wanted to show you was my computer. So what have I got? A Corsair. I can't even remember what this is called. It's called like a K55, and it's not even mechanical. It's just a membrane keyboard. But the reason I use this is because I use a lot of macro keys. So these keys here are like cut, copy, paste, and I use those quite a lot. And then, you know, one might be a shortcut to opening up a program or something like that. And then you can also like hold shift and then have another 6 shortcuts or whatever. So that's why I use that. The mouse I use, even though when I do game I generally die, and that game that I die in is PUBG, but this is a Cooler Master. Yeah, it's a Cooler Master mouse. So it's nice and light. I remember before these came out, there was a company that made a mouse that was almost identically the same, but it was super light, and it was like a ridiculous amount of money. It was like $600 or something. And then Cooler Master basically ripped them off and came out with this mouse, which, you know, it was $60. So yeah, not as cool as the whatever the $600 mouse was. But then we come to the computer. Now, what we have here is a limited edition ROG STRIX Evangelion Collab case. And in order to buy the case, you had to either build a system or buy it with the ASUS $1,100 motherboard. I didn't have the money to do that, so I managed to find somebody on Gumtree who was selling one and so they sold me, I wish I had better light, there's like a strap across here with all Evangelion stuff, but he sold me the case, and there were a few other Evangelion elements that I wanted to get. So I did want an Evangelion motherboard, and it's a bit hard to see, but I've actually got an MSI, what is it? MAG B660? I can't even remember the model now, but the motherboard is Evangelion. And you will have by now spied my buddy here, AVA1, who sits in my computer running constantly. So this all-in-one, or AIO, I always struggle to say that, AIO cooler and radiator was very, very expensive, but it has this GIF screen on it, or GIF player, and I loaded up this GIF of AVA1 running, and now whenever I'm doing computing, he is sitting there running along inside the computer. I'll see if I can shut it down actually, and I'll show you. So he's still running. Okay, so this is the Evangelion sync sequence. So see how they, if you've ever seen the movie, you'll know that sync sequence. When the bands sync up, boom, they sync up. Ava starts running, and then, yeah, then the computer comes alight. And you know, with ARGB, which I'd only just learnt about, because I was on this old Cooler Master half case, you know, my keyboard, my case, and everything else is the same color. So yeah, I absolutely love this thing. It cost me a lot of money, way too much for what I do with a computer. I'm trying to think of the processor that I'm using. It is an, I don't know, it's an i5 6 core. No, maybe it's a 10 core. Hang on, I'll look it up. Where are we? System. Okay. So it's 13th gen i5 13600 KF. 32 gig of RAM. Nothing too special. But yeah, does the job. And then I guess the final piece de resistance is the I'm trying to avoid the rubbish. The Herman Miller, you know, $1,100 ergonomic chair that I definitely didn't pay $1,100 for. So that's my computer. These are my dogs. There's Maple. There's Dorothy. One last thing is I've got this set up here for Gran Turismo 7. God, I love that shit. So it's a G29 with a an adapter and a fake Nismo wheel on there. Pretty easy to do. And then only just the other day I bought the shifter because I was only driving in automatic mode with the gears, etc. But this, a bit hard to see, isn't it, is a ground control there it is there, ground control sim setup, and then played off a 65-inch TV up there. But yeah, so yeah, just my computer, I guess. Just thought I'd show something different. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, give us a subscribe. Maybe I'll try and make some other videos of some other interesting shit I know about. I mean, yeah, there's, I don't know. I mean, I'm no music producer, but I know a fair bit about DJing, and, you know, if you want to become a DJ, I can definitely tell you what you need to do, what skills you need to have to be a good DJ. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll have some more good news about the car soon.